Hello.
Hello.
I'm Sarah Wayman. I'm the Women's Officer. Basically, my job is to represent all women students in the union, the university and the community to ensure that, the place remains an equal, fair place and that there's no sexism around.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm the Science Officer. So I represent all students involved in societies to the union, university, local community on different issues that may arise, as well as student activities in general.
Jess, what's the best thing about being an exec officer?
Wow, what a question. I'd say the best thing about being an exec officer is getting to meet such a vast range of people all the time, finding out a massive amount about people's different cultures and their backgrounds, how they come to university, as well as making a difference to the lives of students through policies and decisions I make. What about you, Sarah? What's the best thing about being an exec officer?
Just how much you learn in such a short amount of time is just amazing. I get shocked by myself sometimes. And also just how much you can really have an impact, with things that you just never thought you'd be able to really change. It's been amazing.
Sarah, what's the coolest thing you've done so far this year?
Coolest thing I've done? I'd say opening the Terence Higgins Trust Sexual Health Drop-In Clinic, Reclaim the Night, and then last night the Great Fees Debate. I don't know what is the coolest out of those things. What about you?
Me? Coolest thing I've done? I think... It's quite a difficult question. I think sort of campaigning for students, so kind of the Fees March, climate change demo I've been on, as well as sort of, internal things, sort of working with great people, meeting some great staff, as well as meeting university staff and trying to lobby them and influence them.
Jess, what would you want to leave behind as your mark of your time in the role?
This is a difficult one. I know, my legacy. I think it would have to focus on E&E issues, the sort of more the green campaign that the exec are going to be rolling out this term, as well as sort of trying to make a difference in activities, make it a fairer place, more just and more accessible, really. What about you, Sarah? What's your legacy?
Making representation way better for student parents has been a big thing for me, and that's something that I think really changed. But as a bigger thing, we've been working on an equality and diversity kind of audit of the union, and I'd like to come back in a few years' time and just see how much better we're reaching so many groups at the moment that don't feel connected to the union. So Jess, why is it important to vote in the student executive officer elections?
Well, it's important to vote in all elections really, but particularly the student executive, because at the end of the day, the union puts a lot of money into the student executive, and therefore, that's your money, as it were, in a way that the profit recycling works. And also that you want to make sure you get someone who will represent you, who will be motivated, fun, and just someone who's enthusiastic and really make a difference for you.
Basically, it's your say who's there next year, so you might as well use it.
Sarah, what advice would you give to anybody choosing to stand in the sabbatical election?
Have some really good friends that will buy you pizza every night when you get in, because it's really tiring. Have a lot of sweets with you, because you're campaigning during lunchtime, so you never get a chance to eat lunch. It's constant finger food. Keep smiling, because it can get a bit tiring. And know your manifesto.
What would I say? Always smile. People like smiley people. Just always remember that the end it will end one day. So don't because it gets very lonely at times, and
when it's raining.
Yeah, you need to just keep the adrenaline up and say you can make it through, and just always push yourself and make sure you've got a lot of friends around you, and make friends with the people who are campaigning as well, because they'll be a massive support.
Explain what a normal day would be like as an exec officer.
I don't think there is a normal day for an executor. Every day is different, and you never know what's going to happen. Even if you walk into the office in the morning and go, "All right, this is what I'm meant to be doing," it could potentially completely change, and suddenly, like, students could be demanding something, or there could be some sort of conflict occurring, or you could be called in to lobby on behalf of someone, and so it's, yeah, I couldn't say a normal day. I mean, it just varies so much.
Yeah, I actually got asked this the other day, and it was just so hard, because I was like, oh, it changes all the time. I mean, all I can say is that don't expect some kind of 9 to 5 job where you sit in an office, because that's just so not the case. But. So thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you very much.
And remember to vote, 13th of February.
Make your vote count. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.